Hey, good afternoon out there, Facebook America. Coach Dave Daubenmire with my friend David Arthur, and we're gonna create a series of little video clips here to answer some of the questions that people have really about homosexuality, what I call the alphabet network, LGBTQRS, all of those things. David Arthur is the guest here. I don't know how many of you are aware with David. David spent 30 years as a woman. Now, somebody catch your breath right now about fall back. Say, what? Yeah, 30 years as a woman. David, tell me your story there.
Yeah, I was molested as a child. Didn't have a father in my life. My father committed suicide. I started engaging in homosexuality as a young child, and then it grew into transgenderism. I started thinking and believing I was a girl. It just turned into drugs, alcohol, prostitution on the streets, living 30 plus years as a transgender prostitute on hormones and drugs and alcohol.
David, we're talking about the hair and the boobs and everything, right?
Everything.
You're not some just guy just was a cross dresser.
No, everything. I lived as a woman. I lived 24 hours a day as a woman. And believe it or not, there was a time when you wouldn't even be able to tell that I wasn't a woman.
But you've been out of, they call it that lifestyle. I don't even like
that death style.
Whatever. You've been out of that for
8 years.
8 years. What happened? What happened, Dave?
Hey, I ended up on my deathbed with full-blown AIDS. I had infections in my brain and my blood, no immune system, my viral load had taken over my body, had osteoporosis from all the hormones, had numerous infections in my brain and my blood, boils fighting their way out of my body with the infections. I was a mess. I was on my deathbed at home, less than 3 months to live.
And you cried out to the Lord.
I cried out to the Lord.
What happened?
Because when I was in prison, a correctional officer had offended me. A correctional officer offended me and told me, God didn't create you to be that way. God didn't even intend for you to look like that.
You're in prison living as a woman.
I'm in a man's prison. I'm a man. I have breasts, and I'm cheerleading on the rec yard for attention. And the correctional officer said, God didn't create you to be that way. And I'm going to tell you every day. And he told me every day, Coach, every day he told me. But I started looking for that man because that man was the first man in my life that I knew loved me, true and pure. Even though he hurt my feelings, he offended me, and he violated my beliefs, I knew that he loved me, true and pure, and he didn't want anything from me.
Folks, we're going to create a series of videos. I just met David here just in the past few months, actually face-to-face here in the last week. It's one of the most powerful testimonies that I've ever heard. What we're going to try to do is we're going to try to bust out some of these lies that they've been telling us about homosexuality and transgenderism and all that. And I don't know what you think. I think you go to the source. Now, you can do whatever you want to. You can deny that this happened. David's got all kinds of pictures and everything as a woman. You can deny it if you want to and say it's not true. We're not here today to talk about the power of God, although that's what we really want to talk about. That is the story. But we want to dispel some myths about this whole homosexuality that's sweeping across the globe, and the lies that those that are involved in the promoting of this, I call them the homosexual mafia. We're going to try to tear down some of those walls here today, expose some truth to you. So we ask you to come along for a ride. IBelongAmen.com. That's his website, IBelongAmen.com. I Belong Amen Ministries. Dave's a minister of the gospel now, out telling his story. So this is the first introductory video, and what's going to be a series about 5 or 6 of them. We're going to tear down some of those lies. So we're going to jump off of Facebook Live here in a minute, and we'll be right back with part 2.